What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another cemetery walk. Now, I know a couple of you guys have asked me to do more of these, so I'm going to try to start putting a few more of these in the rotation. This is a random cemetery that's not too far away from Historic Auto Attractions, which is where I was shooting another video today. But they have one of these, and this is an old, I don't even know what you would call this, but it's a place where they used to store bodies or caskets until their burials. But this obviously has been here for a long time, and it clearly hasn't been used for a lot of years. But things like this, I guess in a way they kind of give me the willies a little bit, but they're interesting because you wonder how many people were held in here. There's a lot of reports of things like this being very, very haunted at night. So if you guys believe in that kind of thing, let me know in the comments. I'm really fascinated by things like this. As you guys know, I love cemeteries. I love exploring them. And they're just, very fascinating, especially with historic cemeteries, places where people have been buried for, 150 years. This cemetery where I'm at now, people have been, some of these graves date back to like the 1850s. So ones like that I find really fascinating. So I'll show you guys these, and sometimes these show up better on camera than they do with my eyes. So hopefully I can read these okay, but this looks like it's Sally Nelson. Died 1846, I believe, aged 42 years old. Now, people back then, it's pretty well known that people back then did not live long lives typically. Some people did, but with all the diseases and no advances in modern medicine, anything like that, if people had ailments, there wasn't really antibiotics in the same way. People would just drink some whiskey and saw off your appendages if something was infected. Things were very, very different, especially in the Civil War era. Just absolutely horrific way that people were not necessarily treated, but just what happened to people when they were getting sick or if they had any kind of an infection. It was just a horrible time to be alive in terms of medicine. But I will say that these older gravestones are absolutely beautiful, the way they were crafted, and you can learn so much about people by the grave that is memorializing them. Got a little tongue-tied on my words there, but yeah, these are videos that I do them every once in a while, and as you guys ask for them, I'm certainly willing to do them, but I just kind of do them on the fly. I don't know who I'm going to run into. This particular cemetery, it's not there's nobody famous buried here that I know of, but it's kind of fun to come and check out some of these, and you might learn something from coming across some of these, because you find a lot of people that were Civil War veterans. I found one the other day that was in the War of 1812. You don't see much of that. But here's one that was born in 1804, died in 1891, so that was a long life. Ebenezer Gifford. Now Ebenezer, that's one name that I wish we could get back. More people need to name their kids Ebenezer. That's awesome. And this is a really nice stone too. Now this is an older part of the cemetery. There's a lot of people in here. Most of the people on this section were passed away and buried in the 1800s. I've seen some going back to the 1840s now, but most of them are between 1840 and 1880 on this side of the cemetery. There is another side on the opposite side of the road where there's a lot more recent ones. But I did a quick walk through here before I came in, and I saw something that was really beautiful that I think you guys might get a kick out of. It was part beautiful, part creepy, part spooky. I know some people don't like when I use this term spooky when it comes to cemeteries, but in this case, I think you guys might kind of side with me on that. Now, I will say that when you walk through a cemetery, you want to make sure that you are respectful and not walking over people's graves. So you guys can't see, but I'm making big steps over a lot of these as to not step directly over the front or the back of a stone. You want to show the utmost respect when you're here leave nothing but footprints. You know, a lot of times there's things that have fallen off people's graves, and sometimes I'll clean them up and put them back upright. But you want to try to keep places like this as neat and pristine as you possibly can to preserve them for future generations, because this is history. You know, these people were all part of history, and in any township cemetery, people buried here had a huge impact on the towns that they're in. So I'll show you guys what I was talking about in just a second, but here's one more. Now I just love these historic stones. They are beautiful. Eliza B. Now just look at the stonework, the craftsmanship on these. You just gotta love old cemeteries and old graves and headstones and everything else. It's just absolutely fantastic. Here's a couple of old ones right here too. Now these ones here, I wish I could read them to you guys, but I can't tell if it's the sun or if it's harder to read. Maybe you guys can tell a little bit better on screen when the sun's not in your eyes, but 1868, I can read that one. But here's what I wanted to show you guys. Now when we talk about creepy things, I just lost where I was at. Okay, here we go. Just on the other side of this one right here. This appears to be a family plot. But this particular grave has just a beautiful sculpture here on top. And I'm not sure if you guys can see this or not, but there is a giant spider web right here. And I found that kind of creepy, but the spider was just out here the last time I walked by, and he went home. The spider actually lives right under the eyeball in that hole. And he's home right now. I can kind of see him deep in there. But yeah, there's a spider living on this one, and just the web of it, it's kind of creepy to me, but I mean, this is a beautiful memorial to somebody here. The dates say 1909 to 2002, and the name is Margaret Atwood, I believe is the name on here. I don't want to move this thing because one, I feel like that would be disrespectful, and two, I don't want to send whatever else might be living in the eyeball of this thing out to get me. But I thought that was kind of an interesting thing, and I wanted to show you guys. But there's something really fascinating to me about being in a cemetery, especially old cemeteries. Now there are a couple of older cemeteries that I'm going to show you guys in the coming weeks. I'm hoping to get to Springfield, Illinois to show you guys where Abraham Lincoln's buried. And there's a lot of other notables and notorious people in that cemetery. It is I believe the second most visited cemetery in the country. I plan to take you guys back to LA to see some, not only just a lot of celebrity graves, but some of the more recent celebrity graves. I'm trying to track down what's going on with Paul Rubens or Pee Wee Herman's final resting place. There's a lot of other ones on my list to check out that have been buried since I was out there last. But I just wanted to take you guys on a quick cemetery walk. If you guys enjoy videos like this, please let me know. I will do more of them. If you guys want to know more about people that are in any of these cemeteries, if you want me to do some research and tell you guys stories about some more obscure people, I'm more than happy to do that also. And if you guys want to see more famous people's graves, I can do that too. More museums. Let me know what you guys want to see and what interests you, and I'll be sure to put more of that stuff on this channel, because like I've always said, this channel is for everybody. I want to be able to teach you guys interesting things and show you things that you want to see. So be sure to let me know in the comment section what you enjoy, and also if you remember which video of mine brought you to my channel, that also helps, because I like knowing what you guys enjoy watching and what you enjoy learning about. So that's pretty much all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this channel. It means more to me than you guys know. I never thought that anybody would be interested in this kind of stuff, so it's really cool to see that people still have an interest in history and preserving history. and just things like this. So, you know, it makes me feel like I'm not a complete weirdo out here. But thanks a lot, guys, and have a good weekend.